And I'm a complete sucker for a reincarnation story. I wasn't expecting Casanova to be trapped as an ant. Not every book needs to change your life. Sometimes a book just needs to make you laugh, and this one did exactly that. I'm now rereading my library and seeing which books I'm going to keep and which ones I'm going to let go. And today's book is Bad Karma by David Sophia. I had forgotten what this one was about, so it was like experiencing it for the first time, and that is exactly the right way to read this book. I was able to go into this without any preconceptions and just indulged myself in the sheer silliness of it all. It's not high art, and it's not pretending to be. Kim Carlson, Germany's TV presenter of the year, seems to have it all. A hugely successful career, a loving husband, and a beautiful daughter. But in reality, she has a massive crush on another presenter, cheats on her husband, neglects her daughter, and mistreats her staff. She's generally a bit of a shit. And on the day that's supposed to be the recognition of her greatest triumph, she dies, having been crushed by a urinal from the Russian space station. She is turned away from the gates of heaven, where she's informed that she hasn't been the nicest human in her life. She has collected so much bad karma by her actions and the trauma she's inflicted on others while she's been trampling over them to try and get to where she's going. She now has atonement she needs to do. And this involves being reincarnated with instructions to collect good karma along the way. Not the easiest thing to accomplish when your first life is back as an ant. She has to learn humility and how to put others ahead of her own selfish desires, and then she slowly progresses into new lives. First up as a guinea pig, and then as a beagle puppy, and eventually she becomes a human again. And while this is happening, she's observing her family from afar, slowly realizing what she's missed out on by her behavior as she watches her best friend step in to replace her. This is a witty and charming novel. It was originally written in German by David Sophia, and then it was translated into English by John Brown John. In the first few pages, it struck me as to how well this was translated. I am assuming that the wit and clever use of original words came from the original language, but to retain that when you're translating it into English, I'm sure takes a lot of skill. And I was amazed at how well this does work in English. I really enjoyed this book, and I'm predisposed to enjoy reincarnation stories. But this one also had humour galore as our heroine comes to terms with the person she was and the slow recognition of her attitude changing. She is ably assisted by the 119th reincarnation of Casanova, who's been trapped as an ant this entire time. This interplay and at times secondary comment by Casanova just kind of elevates this to a whole new level, and I found it really funny. It was a lovely read, and I really enjoyed this book bordering on farce rather than the seriousness that you usually get with a reincarnation novel. There was no earth-shattering, but I was Cleopatra in a former life. This was more grounded, and really, how much more grounded can you get than being forced into an ant colony? Is this a stay or a let go? I'm going to let it go. I need to be tough with my decisions. I do have another 690 books to get through, and I don't want to stop the momentum of this project now. But you know what? I would really love another reader to enjoy this as much as I did. So I'm going to walk back to my old suburb and pop this into the neighbourhood fence post library box until such time as I can find one of those closer to where I am at the moment. And hopefully another reader will find this and enjoy it as much as I've done and be captured by it. And I'll see you next time.